if you guys, I don't know, you seem kind of open-minded. If it's possible that there is a God and that there is a final judgment and that it all plays out like this, where do you think you'd fit in? Like, would you be gathered for, the harvest, or would you be thrown into the blazing furnace, or?
I think that at the end of the day, I'm a school counselor, and I'm an activist and a feminist, and helping people is, we've adopted, we've rescued dogs and a bird, and I think that I do a lot of good. And if you were to pull out the scales, I think that I've lived my life with good intention and with care and respect, and I'd like to think that I'd be in the wheat, the good harvest.
Yeah.
And
I think, how about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would hopefully, if I was being judged on believing and that alone,
then no.
Then no. But if I was judged by my actions, I always try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I always try to help people out. I'm never malicious or anything like that. So, I'd hope I'd be part of the harvest just because I've tried so hard to be a good person.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to do you believe, do you not believe, then I'd be gnashing teeth.
Yeah, I think that I live my way in a life that's really consistent with all of the ways that Jesus taught his people, his followers to live. And I think that, if that were all to happen, that's what he would look at. And, I don't think that I necessarily need to follow the Bible or church teachings to live my life as a good person, but I think that a lot of the choices and actions that I make are very in line with Jesus' teaching.
It's interesting, a lot of the teachings of the Bible and parables and things, this is really like a black and white, you're either righteous or you're not, But the reality is, I'm sure you'd agree, no one's perfect, So what makes a person righteous, what puts them in that category? And if we go on the, have I done enough good to kind of outweigh my bad kind of thing, it's like, okay, does God really draw hairs? Like, okay, if we're 51% good and 49% bad, is it like that, So, in a way, it kind of doesn't make sense, I'm not a Catholic, but I go to a Christian church nearby, and I'm very aware that I've sinned in many different ways, and yet I still believe I'm going to heaven. And the reason is not because I've earned my way. If I was to stand, before God on Judgment Day, I'd have to say, well, I've lied, I've stolen in my life, I've used his name in vain, I've, had lustful thoughts, that's Jesus' definition of adultery. I've murdered because I've called people bad names. That's what Jesus said was his definition of murder, Man, I'd be guilty, I don't deserve heaven. And I'll be honest, I don't, So why do I think I'm going to go? It's because the punishment for my sins has been paid on the cross. So you guys are aware of, Jesus died on the cross. And so to me, that's the only way there could be righteous and unrighteous. And it's not that people are being punished for not believing. It's more like we're punished for breaking the law, as far as like we've sinned, we know better, but we sin anyway. Everyone has the knowledge of good and evil, the Bible says. And so, yes, I've broken that. And so I would deserve punishment, not heaven, when I die. But it's almost like someone handed me a parachute, Okay, I'm not going to die because I don't have the parachute on. I'm going to die because I jump out of a plane and I hit the ground, Don't blame the parachute. But there is a parachute, and you can grab onto this, and it will keep you safe, And so to me, it's not that people are, if there's a heaven and a hell, and God judges us that way, it's not that they they go to hell for not believing. It's that we go to hell for sinning against God.